On April 26, 1986, at 1:23 a.m.
April 26, 1986.
Meet the first unfortunate victim of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Valery Kodymchuk joined the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in September 1973. On the night of April 26, 1986, he was in one of the main circulation pump engine rooms of Reactor 4 building. At approximately 1:23 a.m. local time, there were two powerful explosions in Reactor 4. The explosions ripped through the reactor and the surrounding building, including the main circulation pump halls. Kodymchuk is believed to have died instantly in the explosion, and his body has never been found, presumed to be entombed forever under the nuclear rubbles of Reactor 4. His death was reported on at the time by Soviet news outlet Pravda, who said the fourth reactor block will also become his coffin, and perhaps someone will write on those concrete walls that it is not the reactor which is buried here, but Valery Kodymchuk. Meet the first unfortunate...
Ce ne trebuie.
Graphite on the roof. The whole building's been blown open. The core's exposed.
I can't see how you can tell that from here.
For God's sake. Look at that glow. That's radiation ionizing the air.
Like we can't see, we don't know. Get us directly over the building.
Boris,
Don't use
we
my name.
directly over.
My out of
Reactor
your
will be
advice.
dead within a week. Dead. Sir?
Get us over that building, or I'll have you shot.
If you fly directly over that core, I promise you by tomorrow morning you'll be begging for that bullet.
Chernobyl's elephant's foot. Deep inside the reactor, molten nuclear fuel mixed with other materials, creating a highly radioactive and dense formation called the elephant's foot. It was so radioactive that standing near it for just minutes could be lethal. Over time, its radiation has lessened, but it still poses a danger. Chernobyl's elephant's foot.
I did what you said. I switched. Look at it! Fucking amateurs, you stole the reactor. How the fuck did you get this job?
We have to shut down by 24 hours.
No, we're doing the test tonight. Raise power to 700.
We can't raise the power from here. The rules.
Don't listen to me about rules. No, we fell from 50% of power. The rules don't say 50. There is no rule. Steam blows more fuel towers apart. We do not know how high the power went. We only know the final reading. 33,000. Is that the sarcophagus there that they put over the nuclear reactor that's been destroyed? See that?
You know more than I do. Have you watched Chernobyl?
Amazing series. So this is one of the new guns here, the assault rifle.
I no longer have a laser. Yeah.
I like the inspect on it. Oh, please.
Just wasted one of my uses there.
That's a limited
You can only
use.
use.
Chernobyl, 1986. Reactor 4's explosion released 400 times more radiation than Hiroshima, spreading fallout over 40% of Europe, even reaching Sweden and the UK. Shockingly, Sweden sounded the first alarm after detecting higher radiation levels than parts of Ukraine. First, the city for plant workers wasn't evacuated for 36 hours. Over 50,000 people were exposed to lethal radiation. The fallout left land uninhabitable and caused a surge in thyroid cancer, especially in children. Chernobyl, 1986. Reactor 4 explosion.
Cernobâl, unul dintre cele mai grave dezastre provocate de om din toate timpurile a fost accidentul nuclear de la Cernobâl din 1986. Datorită unei gestionări defectuoase a centralei și a unor defecte de proiectare a reactorului, o explozie masivă a eliberat cantități enorme de radioactivitate în aer. Deși guvernul sovietic a încercat să țină dezastrul secret, țările învecinate au observat rapid niveluri ridicate de particule radioactive și au urmărit sursa. Mai multe persoane au murit imediat după explozie, iar 237 de oameni au suferit o intoxicație acută cu radiații. Chernobyl.
A routine safety test became the worst nuclear disaster in history. This is the story of Chernobyl. In the early hours of April the 26th, 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded during a late-night experiment. The blast released massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere, exposing workers, firefighters, and nearby residents to dangerous levels of radiation. The nearby city of Pripyat wasn't evacuated until more than 36 hours later, after thousands had already been exposed. Сейчас пойдет. Все, оно сейчас... Вот сейчас пойдет.
They thought it was just a small explosion. They were completely wrong. Imagine going to work, only to witness the world's worst nuclear disaster. On April 26, 1986, workers at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine were conducting a safety test. Suddenly, reactor number 4 exploded. A massive cloud of radioactive material spread into the sky. At first, many people didn't realize how dangerous it was. Firefighters rushed in without protective equipment, believing they were fighting an ordinary fire. They were unknowingly exposed to deadly radiation. Entire towns were evacuated, including the city of Pripyat, where nearly 50,000... Did you know in the miniseries Chernobyl, there is a moment in the control room where Akimov delivers a striking line?
Akimov. I'm worried they did everything right. Something strange has happened.
This line was not created by the show's writers. Instead, it is based on real accounts from those present in the control room at that critical moment. According to multiple testimonies from survivors and official records, Akimov genuinely said these words as he tried to make sense of the catastrophic explosion that had just occurred. The show's creator, Craig Mazin, mentioned in an accompanying podcast that this line was so profound and haunting that he would never have thought to write it himself. Did you know in the mini...
Mutant animals that were recorded in Chernobyl. Headless moose. A moving plant. mutant animals that were recorded.
Government's official explanation was basically, something happened. Is it dangerous? We did not say that. Should we leave? We also did not say.
Bone-chilling photos from Chernobyl that you haven't seen. Men clearing the Reactor 3 roof. In some areas, workers could not stay any longer than 40 seconds before the radiation they received reached the maximum authorized dose a human being should receive in his entire life. A farmer in Sweden wearing protective clothing after his crops were contaminated by Chernobyl. Patient recovering from a bone marrow transplant after being exposed to extreme levels of radiation.
To give myself perfect cover to kill these bikers. What? There's cougars in Red Dead Redemption 2? There aren't cougars in missions! I heard it, but there aren't cougars in... To give myself perfect cover to kill these bikers. What? There's cougars in Red Dead Redemption 2? There aren't cougars in missions! I heard it, but there aren't cougars in...
Let's take a look at countries that almost touches each other. And number 1 will blow your mind. Number 5 is Mongolia and Kazakhstan. These two massive landlocked countries come surprisingly close. They are only about 37 kilometers apart, separated by parts of Russia and China. At number 4 we have Angola and Botswana. They are separated by a narrow strip of Namibia called the Caprivi Strip. And the closest distance between them is only around 32 kilometers. Number 3 is Nepal and Bangladesh. Nepal and Bangladesh look like they should touch, but they don't. India blocks the connection completely. The shortest distance between them is 22 kilometers. And in this region, 5 countries almost meet: India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and China. Number 2 is Pakistan and Tajikistan. Pakistan and Tajikistan are only 16 kilometers apart. They are only separated by this thin finger of Afghanistan's Wakhan corridor. And number 1 is Namibia and Zimbabwe. Namibia and Zimbabwe are separated by just 100 and...
Good thing I have a sleep track.
Some people think the Chernobyl RBMK reactor exploded like a nuclear bomb, but that's not true at all. In reality, the reactor exploded because of a chain of events. RBMK reactors use graphite to control the reaction, water to cool the core, and also to absorb neutrons so the reactor stays stable. But if the water gets too hot, steam bubbles start forming. That means fewer neutrons get absorbed, and instead of slowing down, the reaction speeds up even more. Because of
Here's why Chernobyl, the worst nuclear accident in history, will likely never happen again. After the Chernobyl disaster, the nuclear industry learned a ton about safety. It was the first major accident they ever faced, and it completely changed how reactors are built and regulated. Modern reactors are a whole different story. They're designed to protect themselves. If anything goes wrong, they shut down automatically, removing the kind of human mistakes that...
I wasn't in the room when they raised the power.
If you weren't there, then where were you?
Legasov, you are a witness, not a prosecutor. I will ask the questions here. If you weren't in the room, then what?
Your cars will each be given exactly...
In the 2019 series Chernobyl, the disaster was depicted with... What makes Chernobyl Alpha one of the most hardcore Jaegers?
You basically gain access to a stalker, one of these guys that goes on these tours